Welcome to another Coffee with Joy. I'm so excited, so elated to have my guest, Coach Robert, as we talking about eating healthy. Why do you think it's important to eat healthy? He's going to tell us all about his regimen, how does he go about eating healthy, and why exercising is so vital to one's body, and how he can teach us and tell us some small remedy, some exercise that we can do at home. So after these messages, we're going to talk to my guest, Coach Robert.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. So now we're going to hear from my guest, Coach Robert. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're going to dive right in on how to eating healthy. Coach Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Peace. Welcome to the room. First off, thank you for having me and opening the space to tell my story. So, I am Coach Robert Moore, your favorite plant-based fitness and nutrition guy, and I am on a mission to help making healthy simple for you so that you can get just one more day, one more week, one more year with the people that love you. So that's who I am and what I'm about. I help people transition to a plant-based lifestyle and use at-home bodyweight workouts to sculpt and build the body that they want.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about eating healthy? Because, a lot of people, they think, oh, yeah, if I just eat salad, I am good for my greens, or just have like one vegetable, I am good. But we know it takes more than that. Can you just give us just a little synopsis of how, if somebody were to look to try to eat better, what is a way for them to see or hear how can they eat healthy more?
Absolutely. So the simplest way to eat healthy is to first focus on what you're eating. And when I say what you're eating, you say, we're always talking about eating healthy. Well, when you're eating healthy, you focus on eating foods that are in their whole food form, meaning close to their original form. So that's excluding the processed food. So the way to eat healthy is to stop eating the foods that are unhealthy. So that's the simplest way. And the unhealthy foods, and even though this isn't going to go over well with some folks, meat and dairy are at the top of the list for me for several different reasons. They cause inflammation, they cause additional cholesterol and fat gain. So those two are top of the list. And on top of those, you have processed foods. The reason why processed foods are unhealthy for you is because through the processed, for lack of the right words right here, when it goes through processing, they strip out all of the vital nutrients. And that's why oftentimes the foods that you get that are processed are enriched. And so why get foods that are enriched when you can just get the original food and get all of the nutrients? So how do you eat healthy? Simply, the first thing you do is focus on adding more grains, fresh fruits, and fresh vegetables to your plate. How do you do that? Replace the white rice and the white breads with whole grain breads, with brown rice, with quinoa. replace your meats with mushrooms, with chickpeas, lentils, black beans, and then you already got vegetables on your plate anyway. Because I can guarantee if I ask most of you right now, if you ate these 5 foods, you're probably going to say yes. Most of you already don't realize you eat 75% plant-based anyway. Now it's just getting the rest around the corner, getting rid of the heavily processed foods and replacing those with foods that are packed with nutrients.
But you know, Coach Robert, it's so easy and it's cheaper. It does well with my pocket for me to eat this. You know, I could go get a hamburger and I am good. I don't know how to cook. So how can I start from zero to start eating healthy? What, because a lot of people have that story, right? It's easy just to
Correct.
go to McDonald's, or let me just go to Chick-fil-A. You know, I don't eat the beef, let me eat the chicken. Because some people think
Right,
chicken
right.
is better than, the beef. But I don't know how to cook, so I'm just gonna go here. I want to eat healthy, but what is the simple, like what is something that if somebody's just at the beginning stage who wants to turn their
Oh,
diet around? What is like the easiest step for them? I see
light
you
work.
excited.
Light work, light work. So first thing we have to do is shift your mindset. You said that it's easy and inexpensive to go to the burger or the fast food spot. It may be easy and convenient, but it's not inexpensive, because although that burger may cost you $2 up front, what is it costing you in the long run? When you get done eating it, oftentimes you are bloated, you're inflamed, you're feeling tired. So that's taken away from the value that you add to your life. Now, the reverse side of that, the same amount of time that it takes you to go to McDonald's, you got to get in your car, you got to drive over there, you got to sit in the drive-through, they got to whip it up real quick, and you drive home and then eat. That's about 30 minutes, right? We can agree on that. It's about 30 minutes.
Right.
In that same 30 minutes time, you can cook you some quinoa. All you do is run some water on it, rinse it off, put it in a pot, boil it like you do rice. At the same time that that's cooking, get you some frozen vegetables. The vegetable medley. Get you a little bit of vegetable broth. Instead of using oil, I'm going to teach you how to do it the healthy way. Put that vegetable broth in your skillet, just a little bit, just enough to act like the oil. Take them frozen veggies, throw them on in there. Take all of your favorite seasonings. The same way you would season it, take your favorite seasoning. And don't tell me that seasonings are expensive, because you can get them at the dollar store.
Right.
Dump all them good seasonings in there. Your favorite ones. Mix it up. Boom. Now, grab you a can. Now, I'm not a big proponent of cans. However, you said that you were on a budget. So go grab you a can of black beans, a can of chickpeas, or a can of lentils. And if you really want to be extra frugal with your money, you're going to go grab the dry ones. Just takes a little step to soak them. But that is going to be less expensive. So, but you also want to be quick, because we keep it under 30 minutes. So grab your canned beans, crack them open, rinse them off. After you rinse them off, throw them in a pot. Guess what you're going to do? Gonna grab them seasonings again. Gonna season them on up. Now, once they're seasoned, you got 3 different dishes ready to go together for your meal, ready in 30 minutes.
See, that seems, just listen to that. That definitely works for me, right? Definitely put it into the aspect of just driving in, taking those small, little, simple steps. Now, can you, and of course, if you can you break down the theory that a lot of people always say, well, I'd rather eat the chicken than the beef. The chicken is more healthier. But now I hear people say meat altogether, like you just said, it causes, inflammation and everything of that nature. Now, can you break down that theory for many people who may be wondering, like, I'm going to just always, I cut beef out, but I'm going to just eat chicken.
Right.
Not knowing they may still
Absolutely.
have the
So
same effect.
I'm going to sum it all up as animal protein.
Okay.
That's the problem. Now, I'm gonna get real logical with you real quick. I want you to look throughout the entire animal kingdom. Which animal has a physiology closest to ours? Gorillas.
The cow.
The gorilla.
The
Because
gorilla. Oh,
when
gorilla.
when you look at a cat's hands don't look like these,
Gorilla.
right?
Uh-huh.
A cow's hands don't look like these.
No,
Dog's
I'm thinking
hands don't look like these. They got paws.
Gorilla.
But a gorilla, right? Now, when you look at the gorilla, they eat grass, grains, berries, and they are one of the strongest animals in the animal kingdom. So that's proof right there that you don't need animal protein to get meat. Now, I'm going to take you a step further. Every animal that we eat for protein and
real quick. We'll be right there. Don't worry, people. Here we go.
Apologize for that.
That's okay.
So every animal that we eat for protein and for meat, I'm gonna take a quick survey. Which ones eat animal? Which ones eat meat?
Which one eat meat? Chicken doesn't.
Any
Cow
animal:
doesn't.
beef, pork, chicken, cow,
The
goat.
pig. The pig
What
eats
other
slop.
animal eats animal for meat?
I'm failing epically, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot. The pig eats. No, you're saying no. I feel like I'm on a game show. Um,
Now, a pig will eat it
reasons
if
for
you give it to it,
educate
but
me.
naturally, a pig isn't going to eat meat. It's going to eat. It's a scavenger. It's going to eat the other things. So that lets you know right there in the animal kingdom, unless you are a straight carnivore and that's all you eat, you're probably not meant to eat meat.
Mm,
So the reason why is our bodies, when we digest meat, it creates this thing called uric acid. Uric
mhm,
acid is a problem for our liver and kidneys. That's how people
mhm,
end up with fatty liver disease, and the additional
uh-huh,
cholesterol in these meats are also an issue because most of us in our community are dealing with diabetes. Diabetes, most people are saying it's not a sugar issue, it's an insulin issue. And the reason it's an insulin issue, it's because, well, it's actually a fat issue because
mhm.
you are insulin resistant because the fat is keeping this insulin from opening the cell so the glucose can be used. I know I just said all of that real fast. Let me take it
Oh
back.
no, you're good. I got you. I got glucose to sugar. So I'm on there because people we taking the road down science because it's very important that you break down everything because I think a lot of us, and when I say us, I'm just saying people, right? Whether black, white,
Hmm.
whatever. I think a lot of us don't understand. I just think that we go ahead, we just go through life not knowing this is our temple and we only get one, so we have to take care of it. And we really don't educate ourselves to really nurture this body, to really pour into this body. So when we come of a certain age, and I'm not saying age is the only thing because God has not a respect of the individual because a 10-year-old can have issues, right? But
Right.
I think that a lot of us lack the education to really understand, okay, that I really don't have to survive on meat, knowing that vegetables and really take the time to really cook what's in our food to understand, okay, what's in it? What do I know what's going in it? So when we really understand and really break down what's in it and really take heed, I like you said, that would definitely take away the inflammation. That would take away some of the medicine that we inherited. That would take away some of the
Absolutely.
issues of the backbone of us going, breaking down, not knowing that, hey, just because you think you 16, you feel fine. You 26, you feel great. Now you're at 46 and you wondering why are my bones cracking up? Well, were you
Big-
taking care of what you need to? Do you have this information? So I applaud you for sharing the information, because without that, of course, we will all perish. So I definitely appreciate that. Um, I just want to say that. So we definitely get you. I definitely get you. I understand you because I am definitely
ab-
on the road of trying my best to eat right.
Absolutely. And most of the times it's really not our faults. The school system isn't designed to really teach us about our biology and
Mm,
beyond that our physiology. And that's really how our bodies work and how it interacts with the food that we consume. And unfortunately, because of the country we live in, it's not about our health. It's about the capitalistic side of things because
oh,
we were tricked into thinking that eating more meat than what was really necessary. Because when you
mhm,
really look at our parents and the generations that came before us, they didn't eat as much meat as we do. It's been
mhm,
really within the last 40 years that we've
yeah,
started to consume meat at the rate that we do now. And then on top of that, the meat that we have now isn't the meat from 40 years ago. A cow
correct.
wasn't as big as the cow is now. A chicken, like you remember the size of chicken wings back in the day.
You're right.
They were nowhere near the size of the chicken wings you get now and the chicken legs you see now.
Correct.
So not only are you looking at the negative aspects of the animal protein, but you're looking at the negative aspects of the hormones and the chemicals that go into that meat. I found a study that showed that with fish, because everybody's, I know you're going to ask me about fish. People often say, well, can't I just eat fish? Isn't that healthier? Well, I found a study that showed that it takes a half a pound of antibiotics to produce 1 pound of meat out of fish, because
Mm.
most fish is often grown in pens.
Yeah, yeah. But see, like you
So
say, that everything is like mass. It's massive just to meet the supply and demand, right? And how do you feel about the food pyramid? Because in school, the kids are students are being taught that you got to have okay color on your plate, which is great, but it's color. But is it really color? Is it really appetizing or is it really healthy? Because just because you have carrots, that don't mean it was. And correct me if I'm wrong. If it's cooked right, because carrots could be there, broccoli they could just steam it or just add. Again, everything's at mass production. So
right.
of course it starts when you're young and you just take it, you just go for it, but you really don't know what it really is doing to your body. And yes, I was going to ask about fish, but of course you break that down, of course, already. But it's really, we teach the pyramid to our kids. So how do you feel about the pyramid?
So the food pyramid is incorrect in all aspects. The fact that it has meat and dairy on it at all
Yeah.
is incorrect because we don't need meat for protein. You can get protein because to take it back, we don't need protein. We need amino acids. Our body builds the protein that it needs. That's all I'll say about that. However, with the food pyramid, you see that it keeps changing. If you've
Yeah.
noticed, it's not a pyramid anymore. It's a little plate. And so they really don't know. And when you look at it, the Drug and Food Administration, these are the same people that give you the food pyramid. Well, I don't want the same people in charge of my food as in charge of the stuff that you give me when I get sick, because it
Right.
seems to me that the food is making people sick. So the
Yeah.
food pyramid is completely off. And they show that if I remember last time I saw it, they don't have grains as being one of the biggest things you need to eat when it actually is. And most people shy away from grains because they say, oh, I need to limit my carbohydrates. Carbohydrates aren't the problem. It's the type of carbohydrates that you choose to consume. What do you mean? Earlier, I talked to you about highly processed foods. Those are carbohydrates. Those carbohydrates have been stripped of all of their fiber and nutrients. So basically, all you're left with is the sugar, the glucose. So when your body sees it, it instantly digests it as sugar. However,
Right.
if you're eating whole grains, you're eating spelt, you're eating quinoa, you're eating, you lose me, even oatmeal. These are foods that you're going to get the fiber and you're going to get the nutrients. Now, these are also carbohydrates. Wild rice is a carbohydrate. Quinoa, carbohydrate. Potatoes, carbohydrate. But they're also come along with fiber and all the phytonutrients, minerals that come along with it. So
Wow.
you really have to pay attention to what you're eating, and the food pyramid isn't even a good guide for that reason. So just to walk it back a step further, the body's favorite source of energy is glucose. Glucose is sugar.
Yes.
However, if there's too much sugar, the body spikes. If there's too much fat, and it's not able to do its job. And that's why fruits, vegetables, and foods that are high in fiber come in, because it creates the slow release of the sugar so that the body can use it properly, and the fiber that you need to heal your gut microbe and to keep your gut microbe in proper balance.
See, that's a whole breakdown. I wish we had visuals, but definitely, as you all are listening to Coach Robert, he's a man of wealth of knowledge who's able to share and break down. Definitely trying to make sure that each society is eating well. But I definitely do have a question before we go to break.
Sure.
I saw that one study, how the Asian community, they properly eat fix their rice, and they normally eat white rice, but we push the grain so much. So what's the difference in that when they eat so many white rice and they don't have as much issues as the Western, and the Western is United States, as much as us, and we pushing the grain. So what is the difference in that?
I got the answer for you. When you compare the two, how much meat do those Asian communities consume? Far less than we do.
Correct.
As Americans. And that's what I told you is the problem. Sugar is not the problem. Fat is the problem. And the fat is coming from the meat, the dairy. The reason why fat is a problem is that not only do you have the dietary fat from all the oils and fried foods, you also have the internal fat from being overweight. And so what happens is this fat blocks the insulin from opening and unlocking the cell to be used so that it can use the glucose. So when you're eating a bunch of fat and a bunch of sugar, you're going to have this insulin spike, and now your body's going over trying to figure out how to fix it. Whereas in most Asian communities, you don't see such a high consumption of the meat proteins.
Correct. See, and that breaks it down, because definitely as you're talking, I'm visually taking a data look across my life and looking, like, every time when I go out to eat, and of course they don't have as much, but definitely reason why, right? But I know people, if you're listening to Coach Robert, I know you're probably thinking, wow, this is the reason why I have a D in science. But definitely you can research what he has to say. Is definitely a wealth of knowledge. We are here to make sure that we grow our society to the best, because we don't want to be no lukewarm talk show. We want to make sure that we bring you correct information. So please definitely check out Coach Robert as we go to our commercial. Please make sure that you like, follow, subscribe. As you know, Coffee with Joy. So after these commercials, we're going to watch Coach Robert as he does some in-house exercise that takes little to nothing as you're at home to really build up your muscle strength and really increase, just to inherit your body and making sure that you live a healthy lifestyle. So after these messages, we're going to have our guest, Coach Robert, talk about his healthy lifestyle. Any up-to-date news that's taking place around the world. But if you would like to check it out, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, Coffee with Joy, where I share the latest topic. I am your host with Coffee with Joy with today's topic. Awesome. Welcome back. So before we hear from Coach Robert, we're gonna watch. Of course, we don't want to have our show off air, with copyrights. We're going to just look at a quick video as he's doing some house exercise, and he's going to tell us how to go about just the items that you have in your house just to make your body feel well. So as you're looking at Coach Robert as he's doing some quick exercise in his house, and it doesn't take much. So he's going to walk us through. We don't want to cause any copyright issues. So it's for your viewing. So now, Coach Robert, thank you. All these great exercises, of course, I'm a fan. I've been following for a while. Thank you so much. So how did you get into doing the house exercise, or just making it very easy and accessible for everyone who say, I don't have money for the gym, or I don't have time to go outside to work out, I don't have time? How did you come up with this whole diagram of making sure, hey, we don't live on excuse road? We're going to push through and work through.
I did it out of necessity. I did it out of true necessity. So before I started my family, I was what you would consider a gym rat. I was at the gym at least 5 times a week. Because before I started a family, I did what I did to maintain the size that I had put on. Well, I started my family, and I had to prioritize things that weren't the gym. However, I still wanted to stay fit, because that is important for me, not just for me, but for my ability to be the best father that I can, because I got 2 sons, and they will never be able to outdo me. So I had to it was out of necessity. Before getting into entrepreneurship, I was working in corporate America. And so I was a 50-hour-a-week type of dude, plus commute. So I had to find a way to be able to maintain it. And so I had always incorporated body weight workouts, even with my strength training before. But now I had to find a way to make sure that it was maintainable for me for what I needed to do. So most of the time, the videos that I create for others are using simple techniques like you see here, or using things like a chair. Outside of those, I also use resistance bands, a suspension trainer, if you've ever heard of the TRX, and I do have a couple of dumbbells. I did it also to remove that excuse, because I didn't want to go to the gym. And now that I co-parent, I have my sons 2 weeks out of the month, and they are homeschooled. So I don't really have the babysitter and the help. So again, it's a way for me to incorporate fitness into their lifestyle and keep me where I'm going, because if I live by habit, so if I started going to the gym and when they're with me now, I don't go to the gym, it'd just be too much. So just make life convenient. Plus it removes the excuse of not having a gym. I live in South Florida now, but a lot of my clients live all over the country. When it get cold, don't nobody want to go nowhere. So it removes the excuse of having to get up and go to the gym. It removes the excuse, not just the excuse. It also gives you your time back. It takes time to go to the gym. You got to get up.
Yes.
You got to get your clothes ready. You got to get to the gym. You got to work out. And if you're going straight from the gym to work, you got to shower, get your clothes on, still get to work. So you're talking about
Right.
easy an hour, hour and a half versus
Yeah.
working out at home. Wake up, throw your clothes on, get your workout in, 30 minutes, hour, however long you want to make it, shower, and then you're done. So
Phenomenal.
there
Now,
are so it's
I'm
a
sorry.
money saver and it's a time saver. But I did it out of sheer necessity. I wanted to make sure that I was able to maintain my physique to some level and stay fit. So at home body weight workouts. And on top of that, as I got older, I didn't want to keep throwing around the weights. So I say as I got older, most people won't guess, but I will be 42 in October. So I've seen people go through their life lifting weights and then their joints start to give out and start to give them problems. So I wanted to create a way that I don't have that issue. So with body weight workouts, you're able to really build the tendons and ligaments, all of the supporting muscles around your major muscles, because body weight workouts won't allow you to do more than what your weakest muscle will allow you to do.
Now, I know a lot of trainers push the weight. And when do you still encourage weightlifting in some aspect, or you just say at a certain age or a certain point you just, we can no longer do it? Because again, I do agree, your body is going to say we can't do that, even though mentally we can, physically we cannot. So what do you say to someone who wants to lift a weight but at a lower pace, but continue to to do the weightlifting?
So I'm really big on terms. You don't need weight training to build muscle. You need resistance training.
Okay.
You need resistance. Now, weights are one form of resistance. Resistance bands, suspension trainers, and body weight workouts. Guess what you're resisting? You're resisting gravity. So you're still able to do those. Now, if you want to add some small hand weights or dumbbells, I'm not going to tell anybody not to do what they enjoy doing. Find a way to ensure that you're able to do it safely and in a way that you're able to maintain your health. So, and I say that because I know guys who are looking to get big, so they're lifting heavy weights. Most of the people watching this probably aren't in that situation. So some 5 and 10 pound dumbbells really aren't going to be out of whack. I'm talking about those people who still trying to throw 80, 60, 100 pounds around.
Right. Now, how would you walk through someone who comes to you and say, "Hey, Coach Robert, I'm looking to lose at least 15 pounds, 20 pounds, and I weigh currently 286, but I want to be down in my low 200." What is a good regimen for someone who's plus size who wants to, be encouraged and still, keep, I won't say lack of saying keep their weight, but they want to be healthier. So what is
Right.
a good or beginner's track for someone to follow along if they need help?
So it's a twofold approach. The first thing you really have to approach is with your nutrition, because what you're eating is going to have a huge impact, not just on the calories, but on your hormones and on your metabolism. And that's going to affect the rate at which you're able to lose weight. The second thing outside of the fitness is having proper expectations on time frame, because I'm pretty sure this person, that if they're at that weight, it didn't happen in the last year. It happened over a course of years. So give yourself time to lose it, because often when people go to lose weight, they have this big goal and they want to lose it fast. Well, you didn't gain it fast. And that's how they end up either not being able to keep up with a regimen, keep up with the program, or after the regimen and program is done, they gain it back. So the first thing you really have to do is focus on losing it in the correct way. Healthy weight loss is 1 pound to 2 pounds a week. And if you focus on just 1 pound a week and you did that for 1 year, you lost 52 pounds. So this person could easily be back into that lower 200 range. On top of eating correctly, you want to make sure that you do progressive strength training and use that in conjunction with cardio. Where most people go wrong is they go super hard on the cardio. Well, cardio is not what you need for weight loss. To do weight loss correctly, you have to increase your metabolism. one of the ways to increase your metabolism is to increase your muscle mass in general,
Right.
because muscle burns more calories than fat does, even while you're
Yes.
sitting. So that's why you have to do progressive strength training. All that progressive strength training means is that you're either increasing the intensity or the weight.
Okay. Now, in your eyes, do you
So
prefer someone to run or to walk? What is better, running or walking?
you say better, and one is not better than the other. It depends on the person's situation, because if walking is all they can do, I wouldn't tell them to run. However, if running is not necessarily, again, we just talked about cardio. Running is nothing but cardio. So
Well, see,
over running, what's the? I'm going to give you a third one that's better than both of them. Jump rope.
Yes, jump rope, definitely.
So
But the
jump
reason
rope,
why I
jump
said
rope is better than both of them. So one is not necessarily better than the other. They each have their role in a fitness plan that's properly structured and balanced. Because
the reason why I asked
walking at an incline can be better than running.
See? Okay. And the reason why I ask that, because I've heard, where a lot of people say that walking is better only because it doesn't put too much stress on your knees. It doesn't, because again, in the long run, running tears your knees down. So that's the reason why, hear from the expert. What was your thought on that? Of course,
Right.
I like to jump rope myself now that I got the jump rope with the timer on there. And I think it's so neat. Like, I've been missing out. So you telling me I've been doing jump rope 100 and it could have been 150, but because I need the clicker, because as I'm jump roping, I'm counting, and it really takes I just want to jump rope. I don't want to count and jump, So now that I have
see, that's why I
clicker,
don't count. I just jump rope to time. I jump rope for time. I'm not looking for jumps. You're going for time, because that's the way that you're able to maximize your cardio aspect of it.
Correct. And that's the reason why I would like to see how much I'm doing, because that's, to me, showing that, I'm working out my breathing. I am, staying within, my capacity, but at the same time, I can see my growth, because there wasn't a time I couldn't jump rope. Not to say I couldn't,
Right.
but, I did not do it. And by me, taking time doing it daily, I went from like 10 to doing 60 to 85. And the max I've gone straight was 90. So I commend myself. Where's the clap, people? Yes. Give me a clap on that. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, I feel real great about that with the jumping, because with the clicker now, it seems like, for myself, when I look at it, I'm like, oh, wow, I did 92 and I'm thinking I only did 70, but it takes away because I just want to concentrate on working out. So I just find that I definitely agree. The jumping, if you can, I would definitely agree too. The jump roping is definitely my thing. And I try to do that daily, because I like to see the incline as much as just to make sure, working on my heart rate, making sure that I stay healthy, right? Because I love my size. I just want people to know I love my size, but definitely want to make sure eating healthy and doing everything correct. Because when I go see my doctor and they pull it up, I want to know that, hey, yes, I'm exercising, I'm doing my part. Because again, not everyone could be skinny. Not everyone could be, because skinny doesn't determine that you're healthy.
Healthy.
Correct?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And so what I always say to that, not everybody's meant to be skinny, but I always want to make sure that the person is being at the healthiest version of themselves.
Now, if somebody were to say, hey, Coach Robert, how can I find you? What are some ways someone can find you? And how do you go about teaching your classes or, doing your one-on-one session?
Perfect question. I make things very easy. You can find me, Coach Robert Moore, at Coach Robert Moore, across all social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Wherever you type in Coach Robert Moore, you'll find me. And I made it just as simple. Go to my website, CoachRobertMoore.com. That's where you can find my 10-day Healthy and Fit Challenge, where I walk you through how to tackle procrastination, rebuild your motivation, learn how to eat plant-based, build new habits, and overcome and build exercising into your daily routines. Then there is my 12-week Healthy and Fit coaching program, which gives you a more extensive overview of really how to drive and make those habits your own. And then there's the 6-month Healthy and Fit Mastery program, where you actually get one-on-one coaching with me, and it's a more intense program. All of those can be found at Coach Robert Moore. Some of them you do have to apply for. but just reach out to me and we can get you where you need to go.
Phenomenal. So after these messages, we're going to talk to Coach Robert just a little more. And we're so grateful, so thankful for the information and knowledge that he has poured into our show for our viewers and for our listeners to hear and see. So keep in mind, if you like to pour into Coffee with Joy, please make sure that you like, follow, subscribe. And if you like to patronize our business, we definitely would love to have your monetary donation. And definitely, we will appreciate you pouring into us. So after these messages, we're definitely going to come back with Coach Robert.
Coming live from the VIP, heard the nightlife, lost life with a bring them out, hey. Bring them out, yeah. Bring them out, hey. Bring them out, VIP, coming live from the VIP, heard the nightlife, lost life with a.
So as you all know, October 15th, Coffee with Joy has an event called Chucks and Coffee Give Back. So we definitely would love to see you in the building on October 15th. More information is to come as we nail into the future. So Coach Robert, now we've been watching these videos about your smoothie. Before we end the show, I got to know about these smoothies. Like I just so overwhelmed by and so elated just watching you do these smoothies. So how can someone make your smoothie without using dairy? Because I know you don't use dairy.
No. So you got two videos. You're either watching a smoothie video or a juice video. But my smoothies are super simple. Get you some bananas, get you some your favorite frozen fruit, a couple of dates, and some coconut milk or some cashew milk. And you're good. Or you can even get coconut water. On top of that, I typically put protein powders like hemp seed powder, rice powder, and what is that other word that I'm looking for? Pea protein powder. On top of that, I typically throw my adaptogens in. Adaptogens help you with monitor stress and keep your hormones at bay. So I use ashwagandha and maca powder. Those are some of my go-tos for my smoothies. And for me, my favorite fruit to throw in is either going to be mangoes or blueberries.
Because blueberry has high antioxidant or something. Antioxidant. Yep. I knew it, people. I knew it. So far, I got a B in science, if you're wondering my grade. Yes, I have a B with Coach Robert. Just want to let you all know. I got a B so far. I'm striving for an A, almost there. But, so, because again, I never heard the cashew milk, or I know about the coconut milk. So, coconut water. So that's definitely good to know. And is it good where you could put in flaxseed?
Absolutely. So you can put flaxseed, hemp seed, chia seed. I throw almonds in mine sometimes. I throw cashews. Sometimes I throw walnuts. It really depends on the flavor that I'm going for that day. Your smoothies are your opportunity to go wild, try different mixtures, different combinations. Sometimes I throw cinnamon. Sometimes I throw nutmeg. Really depends on what I'm going for. It's your chance to get fun and creative. I tried some new smoothies this week. I'm using avocados. I've used them before, but I shied away from it. Now that's number 3 on the list. I'm gonna have to use that more often. So there are so many different varieties. There are over 10,000 different fruits and vegetables that you can try. And throwing them in a smoothie is just one way to help blend and mix it in with different things. So, because who would have ever thought that an avocado in a smoothie would have been good?
Never heard of it until now. That's why it's like, But I'm on the beginning stage, so I'm gonna definitely record my smoothies, because definitely taking heed to the cashew milk, because never heard of that. And if I did, then take heed to it. But definitely coconut water. So I am going to make my smoothie, and I can't wait to showcase and show you. I want to thank you so much for that. Now you're juicing. Now I have an older sister. I know Maxine, you're on here. I know. But she juiced a lot. And my mother does not like it at all. She says, you can't just juice your life away, like literally. So this is the conversation in my house. Yeah. My family, my mom is like, you cannot juice your life. You could juice, but you need to eat. Like, she feel as though my sister juice just straight. My sister goes ham. Like, her refrigerator is all green. Green.
That's what's
up.
I
wish I gave the team the picture to show you, but her refrigerator is all green. She just juiced. She's like, so what are you doing, Max? Well, I'm preparing for my juicing for the week. Like, that is it. Now, my question to you, can the person just live off juicing? I know. Gladys, if you're listening, here's your answer. Gladys
You
is my mother.
could, you could,
Mhm.
you could, but do I recommend living off juice alone? No. The reason being is that
Yes.
you still need the fiber. One of the major benefits, and I was just talking to one of my doctor friends the other day about this because he's still a little skeptical. So, the main benefit of juicing is that you give your digestive system a rest.
Mm.
When we are eating tons of processed foods or even tons of food in general, our digestive system uses a lot of energy and it goes through a lot of stress, for lack of a better word. And when you're juicing, your body doesn't need to go through so much digestion in order for you to absorb the nutrients. So there's a healing benefit to that. On top of that, you're getting all of the nutrients as quickly as possible. So I
Mm.
akin it to putting an IV in your arm and maintaining those nutrients because they're that much readily available for the absorption in your bloodstream.
Right.
Now,
Wow.
do I think that eating and juicing alone juicing alone will is sustainable? No, because you still need the fiber, you still need the amino acids that are going to come from the protein that are going to come from some of the other foods that you're going to eat, like your grains,
Right.
your beans, your legumes, and things of that sort.
Now, okay, so switching gears, and I want to make sure before I get this in before we end this show, weight loss surgery is at its high. A lot of people don't want to go through any of this regimen, right? They want a quick fix. And and a lot of people are using the underline that I'm medical, is because I'm not feeling well or it's going to reduce my insulin, my diabetes. So, of course, I already know your answer, but I'm gonna still ask anyway. What is your take on this weight loss surgery? And now, before you answer, it's like a row of weight loss surgery. Before it was just the
Yeah,
gastric, now it's the sleeve, now it's the
right. So there are several different ones that you can do, and
mhm,
no matter which one you do, if you don't change your habits and your lifestyle, that surgery doesn't mean anything. I know
right.
several people personally who've had the gastric sleeve
Mm,
and they still are dealing with the same issues that they dealt with before the gastric sleeve. I need you
see.
to understand what that surgery does from a biological standpoint and physiological standpoint. It just makes your stomach smaller.
Hmm.
So it only means that you're able to eat less of the junk that you're eating, but it doesn't change the habits of you eating junk. So just because you're eating less meat, eating less dairy when you eat, it doesn't change the effect that those foods are having on your body. And
Hmm.
if you haven't added healthy exercise, healthy stress management, what did you really do? You just made it so that you can't eat as much.
Right.
So, and on top of that, the downside of those surgeries is not there. And on top of that, those surgeries cost $15,000-$20,000.
Yeah.
I don't care whether the insurance is paying for it or not.
Yeah.
My program is $2,000. Come see me. We'll get you on the right path. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't provide a diet or a weight loss program. I teach you how to
Hmm.
create habits so you never have to diet again.
Hmm. See, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And said, I just want to hear your take on that because I know that's a lot of people end result now instead of just
Absolutely.
being consistent and being motivated
We live,
in
we
the
live in a we
long
live in
run.
a microwave society. We want everything quick.
Yeah.
We want the instant gratification. And if that
Yeah.
can get me there, let's go. I'll do it.
Yeah.
However, they're not thinking of the long term or the true effects of how it's going to work. And because doctors make money and pharma makes money on the
Yeah.
post op and pre op, now they're going to push it because doctors aren't saying, "Hey, go see a health coach that can help you change your habits." They just say, "Here,
Yeah.
lay down on the table. Let me give you this, and here, come get these meds." So
Yeah.
you really have to look at that. And oftentimes, I don't take information from a lot of doctors because when you look at them, they are not the epitome of health.
Correct. Yeah, that is facts. So, of course, we would love to keep hearing from Coach Robert, but I am so grateful that you was able to pour into our company, to our talk show. Many people definitely going to play back and really take heed because you gave some vital information. So, before we end the show, is there anything that you'd like to leave with any individual, or how do you stay motivated, or any affirmation that push you along?
So I'll give you something even more valuable. I'll leave you with the 5 pillars of health to make life simple for you. Eat nutrient-rich foods, drink enough water and stay hydrated, get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day, move your body every day, and find a healthy way to manage your stress. You focus on building those 5 pillars, and you won't have health issues. You won't have to come see people like me.
You hear that, people? As simple as it may sound, but it works. It will work because you have to give it a chance. Anything work. Again, Coach Robert, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for having you on the show. Again, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom about eating healthy and about, doing simple exercise that would definitely get the body moving, and breaking down many aspects of what the body works and how does it interpret food and what should eat and what we should not eat. So again, thank you so much. As you all know, next week we have our very own, we have Tawana. We'll be talking about the Full Figure Industry Award. And just to let you all know, I am a semifinalist for my show. So if you have not, please make sure that you vote for the final. It's still in the process. You can definitely go to thefias.com, fullfigureindustry.com to make sure you vote. Voting ends very soon, so please make sure you get out there and vote. And of course, when you hit the 3 lines, scroll down, you will see that it's Talk Show Podcast. Definitely your girl Coffee with Joy is up for an award. I thank my team, Denise and Tony, and thank my guests now and in the past and in the future to come. Without you all, it would not be a talk show, of course. So please make sure that you like, follow, and also comment. We would like to hear from you. Coach Robert would like to hear from you. We would definitely like to hear your comments on what you thought of today's show. And please make sure that if you would like to monetize Coffee with Joy, here's my QR codes. You could definitely scan them if you would like to donate. Any monetization is definitely great. So please, we want to say thank you in advance. As always, as you all know, if it's Wednesday, it is Coffee with Joy. Until then, live life on purpose. Thank you again, Coach Robert. Thank you, Denise and Tony. Thank you to my team. As always, live life on purpose and have a blessed night, day, whenever you watch Coffee with Joy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
We kick it like no